Michael Burry apparently said the market was halfway done selling off. I get his updates because I like to follow and laugh at Wall Street bets on Reddit. Was halfway done? So we got another 20% to go. So right now, I hate CNBC. Their charts look like shit. Here we go. So far year to date, the stock market is down 17%. We're still above where we were before the pandemic. So if you bought like pretty much at the end of February, you're still slightly up. Yeah, hey, that 2020 crash that Bill Maher never heard of. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Trading View is free. Trading View. Is this what you're talking about? Holy shit, is the euro this low? Holy fucking hell. Damn, the euro is crashing. Holy shit. Oh, what did I tell you, chat? What did I tell you? What did I fucking tell you? That Europe was going to get fucked by Russia, not the other way around, and it's happening. God damn it. Bitcoin is at 19,000, down 4% today. It's been hanging around that 19,000 for a while. Jesus. The 10-year, 2-year spread is insanely thin. Oh, so it's not inverted? It's been inverted for a while. Big ruble dip today. Yeah, the US dollar is almost as strong as the euro, and that's very, very, very strong sell. Oof. What determines a strong seller? But I actually don't know what their technical rating thing is, to be honest with you. Maybe it's just like a measurement of what's happening. Yeah, there's a big crash in the ruble today. Oh boy. So if the ruble is going up, that means the ruble is going up in value. So if the line is going up, ruble is going up. So as you can see, the ruble today is better than it was for the last 5 years. But it had a dip today. It had a big drop today, which is interesting. Oh, the crude oil went down today. That might be why Russian ruble is taking a little bit of a dip. I mean, is it really? Oh, this is good. This is really good. This is how Russia gets fucked. This is how Russia gets fucked in Ukraine, is basically if oil prices collapse, then they're fucked. Then the sanctions will start to hurt. So we're having a bonds are dropping with the stock market. So they think inflation is going down too. They think the economy is just going to crash. They think inflation's going down. Euro slides to 20-year low against the dollar as recession fears build. Ooh. Might have to go buy some stuff in Europe, huh? Getting cheap. Buy ourselves some stuff in Europe. Europeans begging. I'm sorry this happened to you and to everyone else there. It's awful. And those shootings just keep coming at us. Please register to vote if you haven't already. Tell your friends too. Your generation is our last hope. Now, I want to tell you something, chat. Where this mass shooting happened in Illinois, there's a Democratic mayor, a Democratic congressperson, a Democratic state senator, a Democratic state rep, a Democratic House and Senate in the state, a Democratic House and Senate in the federal government, and a Democratic president and a Democratic governor. This person has Democrats from the dog catcher to galactic overlord. They can't vote any harder. Gen Z will be the last American teenage generation. God, that would be interesting. When they say vote harder, they mean overcome the electoral college and Senate malapportionment. Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Tim Heidecker, thank you. Oh my God. This is what I want. This is the sound drop I want. This is me. Whenever a Democrat talks.
I stood up, I go, shut the fuck up!
Fucking Christ. The nightmare scenario SCOTUS is plotting for the 2024 election takeover. 6 Republicans of the Supreme Court just announced a story that has largely flown under the nation's political radar that they'll consider pre-rigging the presidential election of 2024. Here's how one aspect of it would work out if they go along with the GOP's argument that will be there before the court this October. It's November 2024. The presidential race between Biden and DeSantis has been tabulated by the states and called by the networks. Biden won. Okay. I mean, this is copium. Biden is not winning by 7 million popular votes. It's not happening. But anyway, let's keep going. They said at least Biden seems to be intentionally sabotaging Kamala Harris. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the popular vote isn't enough. George W. Bush lost to Al Gore by 500,000 votes, and Donald Trump lost to Hillary Clinton by 3 million votes, and both ended up in the White House. What matters is the Electoral College, and that looks good for Biden, too. The outcome is a virtual clone of the 2020 election. This is where the copium is. Yeah, Biden is going to do just as well as he did in 2020. This is Rhode Island Senator Tara Mack, who the white Democrats brag about being the first openly LGBTQ black person elected to the Rhode Island Senate. She's twerking for votes. Based. I don't see a problem with that. If it wins, it wins. I'm just laughing at the hypothetical, walking eye Hank. I know. I'm going to keep reading. Don't worry. But I'm laughing at the idea that Biden's going to do that well. It's 306 to 232. Blah, blah, blah. Until the announcement comes out of Georgia. Although Biden won the popular vote, their legislature decided it could overrule the popular vote and just awarded the state 16 electoral votes to DeSantis instead of Biden. An hour later, we hear from 5 other states where the Republican-controlled legislatures where Biden won the majority of vote. North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. Each has followed Georgia's lead, and their legislatures have awarded their electoral college votes, even though Biden won the popular vote, to DeSantis. Thus, a total of 88 electoral college votes from the 6 states moved from Biden to DeSantis, who's declared the winner and will be sworn in on January 20th, 2025. Chat, that's what the electoral college is for. Oh, does that sound stupid? The purpose of the electoral college is that they're supposed to vote for who they think is the winner. That's what it's for. Oh, is that stupid? Is that a dumb system? Is the Constitution stupid? Wolf Blitzer announced that DeSantis has won the election and millions of people pour in the streets to protest. They're met with a hail of bullets as Republican-affiliated militias have been rehearsing for this exact moment. Just as what happened when Pinochet's militia shot into crowds as he took over Chile, when Mussolini's volunteer militia, the Black Shirts, killed civilians as he took over Italy, and Hitler's Brown Shirts did in Germany, their allies among the police and army refused to intervene. After a few thousand people lay dead in the streets of 24 cities, the police began to round up the surviving instigators who were charged with seditious conspiracy for resisting the Republican legislatures of their states. After he's sworn in on January 20th, President DeSantis points to the ongoing demonstrations, declares a permanent state of emergency, and suspends future elections, just as Trump has repeatedly told the world he planned for 2020. Neither mentions the will of the people, though the Electoral Count Act requires each state governor to certify the vote before passing it along to Washington, D.C. Half of those states have Democratic governors. Which brings us to the Supreme Court's probable 2023 decision. As Robert Barnes wrote yesterday in the Washington Post, the Supreme Court on Thursday said it will consider what would be a radical change in the way federal elections are conducted, giving state legislatures sole authority to set the rules for contests, even if their actions violated state constitutions and resulted in extreme partisan gerrymandering for congressional seats. While the main issue being debated in Moore versus Harper, scheduled for a hearing this October, is a gerrymander that conflicts with North Carolina's constitution, the issue at the core of the debate is what's called the independent state legislature doctrine. It literally gives state legislatures the power to pre-rig or simply hand elections to the candidate of their choice. The independent state legislature theory was first invoked by 3 conservative U.S. Supreme Court justices in the celebrated Bush v. Gore case that handed the 2000 election victory to George W. Bush. In that case, the 3 cited it in support of the selection of a Republican slate of presidential electors. Those were Rehnquist, Scalia, and Clarence Thomas, now the senior-most member of the court. They wrote in their concurring opinion in Bush v. Gore, the federal questions that ultimately emerged in this case are not substantial. Article 2 provides that each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors. But as we indicated in our remand of the earlier case, in a presidential election, the clearly expressed intent of the legislature must prevail. It asserts that the plain reading of the Article 2 and the 12th Amendment of the Constitution says that each state's legislature has a final say in which candidate gets their state's electoral college vote, and governors and the will of the voters be damned. If younger people voted in larger numbers, you would have different nominees. Bernie himself ran on the ability to energize younger voters, and the DSA type celebrated that. He objectively did. But primary voters are weirdo psycho freaks. It's only been in the last 5 years or so that pursuit of this goal has been deemed offensive to some. My God, he's so fucking stupid. Hutch is legitimately stupid. I don't know what to say. He's legitimately shit. All I can say is I'm glad. I'm glad Joe Biden's approval rating is he's now at 39% against Trump. Good. I want these neoliberals to lose big. I want them to get discredited. I want them to get fucking annihilated. Every time they punch left, that's another. Every time Hutch punches left, that's one more Democrat I'm not voting for in Pennsylvania in a swing district. I'm not voting for my Democratic state rep right now. Democratic state rep, no vote. Tell Hutch that. Every time he posted a punches left, that's another vote directly away from the Democrats. My Democratic state senator is next. Keep going. Keep talking. Keep punching left. You're personally responsible. And guess what? That's how I'm choosing my vote. Welcome to democracy. Every time he punches left, no vote. I'm taking another vote away for the Democrats. If he punches left again, I'm not voting for Biden in 2024. That's the next one. Then it'll be the state senate. Then it'll be Congress. Then it'll be governor. Just keep going. He's in California, right? Isn't Hutch in California? I don't think his vote matters very much. Every time I see a California Lib punch left, that's another Democratic vote I'm not doing. And I'll start doing, by the way, I'll start going into future years too. I got 2023, 2024, 2025. Just keep knocking them down. I'll keep deferring the vote. Wait, you said you wouldn't vote Biden unless he forgave your student loans? True. Like I'm tired of trying to talk to people like Hutch. I'm just gonna communicate in the way that they understand. Power. Keep talking. Less vote for Dems. You are directly responsible for less vote for Dems. And I think I could get some of my... Hey, how many of my viewers are in swing districts and swing states? Let's start doing anti-Hutch action. The more Hutch posts punching left, how many votes can we personally get him to get away from the Dems? That's what I want to see. That's some direct action. Can we make it 50, 100, 500? Let's fucking go. Anti-Hutch measures activate. Keep punching left. I can't stop them all, but maybe I can stop one. And if I can't, what are we going to do? We're not going to have a Democrat. Oh no, we're not going to have a Democrat go up there and lose and compromise and get clowned and then get destroyed in the next election. Oh no, what will we do? Oh no, we won't have Joe Biden sitting up there saying just vote. Oh no. We won't get Pete Buttigieg. Oh, Pete Buttigieg won't go up there and wring his hands and say how much it's mean for the airlines to cancel flights. Oh no, what will we do?
And you know, like, I mean, it's just like how sustainable, like how stable and how much of a future is a country the size of ours, in which essentially 30% of the population has an absolute veto and authority over everyone else. And it's just
like listen to that. That's the world we're in. Now, here's the thing, chat. I have said, by the way, as somebody who ran for office myself in 2014, I've done all the things that you can do. Run for office as a millennial. Help other millennials get elected and actually win. Push radical and left-wing politicians everywhere I can. For example, John Fetterman, who I've been promoting for a very long time on this stream, far before he even announced for Senate. I've said he was going to be the senator from Pennsylvania. I've been pushing and doing every single thing I can. That is the reality. And I've always gotten people, and I've always told people to join orgs and join DSA and support politicians financially and through volunteer. We've done everything we can through electoralism. I'm not an anti-electoralist, but at a certain point, you have to reckon with reality. Like, I think one of the things that really gets me is like anything we can do, from having a policy message or from knocking doors or making phone calls or buying Facebook ads or making tweets, all of the politics that all the change, all the electoral change that we can do through that method has been fully explored. We can't increase turnout by 50% from a tweet or from knocking doors or from making phone calls. We can't. I want you to reckon with that. This is the battlefield we have. This is the moment we have. Shaming people, yelling at people, blaming them. All the change that was going to make has been made. It got Joe Biden elected. It got a Democratic Senate. It got a Democratic House. That's as good. There is no more juice in that lemon. Now what? Now you have to reckon with, this is the battlefield. This is where the lines are drawn. You're weaker than you thought you were. Deal with it. What would you do? What would you do if you knew that this is the last Democratic majority you were going to see in your lifetime? What would you do if you realized that this was the last Democratic trifecta you were going to see for the rest of your life? What would you do? We should start asking libs what the expectations are after we vote for Dems. I don't think we have any comprehension of what will happen. Nothing. They actually hate you if you ask for that. Looking like a pro after my first jet skiing lesson from my amazing instructor. You need a jet ski lesson? You go on it and you turn the handle and then point it. What do you mean jet ski lesson? Incredible brain. Rudderless, aimless, hopeless is how one member of Congress described the White House. Biden sucks. Oh wait, I took a clip of this part of the article and I typed Biden sucks.png and I went to hit save, but apparently I already have a Biden sucks image. So it said, sorry, you're overriding your other Biden sucks. Oh, I'm sorry. Biden suck too, I guess is what it has to be, huh? Complete loser. They say it gets to questions of basic management. More than a week after the abortion decision, top Biden aides are still wrangling over releasing new actions in response, despite the draft decision leaking 6 weeks earlier. What did they do? When they got the leaked draft, what did they even do? What did they even do? What did they even do? Like, they didn't even set up anything. They did nothing. White House counsel Dana Remus had assured senior aides the Supreme Court would rule on abortion that day. The White House press aide assigned to the issue was walking to get coffee when the alert hit. Several Democratic leaders privately mocked how the president stood at the floor of the White House, squinting through his remarks from a teleprompter as demonstrators poured into the streets, making only vague promises of action because he and aides hadn't decided on more. He's getting mocked by his own fucking party. Biden's July 1st meeting with governors to talk about their efforts to protect abortion rights was planned so last minute that none of those who attended came in person, and several of those invited declined to rearrange their schedules to appear virtually. Also, Democratic politicians who had reached out to work with Biden, whether it's on specific bills, brainstorming, or outreach, often don't hear anything back at all. Potential appointees have languished for months waiting to hear if they'll get jobs or when they'll be done with vetting. Invitations to events are scarce. Thank you calls barely happen. Even some aides within the White House wonder why Biden didn't fire anyone from West Wing or the Food and Drug Administration, demonstrate some accountability or at least anger over the baby formula debacle. Inside the White House, aides are exhausted from feeling forever on red alert, batting at a swarm of crises that keep growing. Enough for White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre to make an offhand joke about constant 11th hour decision making in the building when under fire at a recent daily briefing. Several officials say Biden's tendency to berate advisors when he's displeased with how a situation is being handled or when the events go off so poorly has trickled down the ranks of the West Wing, leaving several mid-level aides feeling blamed for failings despite lacking any real ability to influence the building's decision-making. That's contributed to some of the recent staff departures. Democrats worry the lack of decisions and authority are deepening their own midterm problems and feeding a sense that the president couldn't truly handle the extra complications of a run for re-election, and along the way, reinforcing narratives that he's an old man not fit for the moment. The president who campaigned on putting America back together after 4 years of deep divisions appears to have stopped trying. There's no fight, another Democratic member told CNN. People understand that a lot of this is out of his hands. What do you want to see is the president out there swinging? A year and a half in, the Biden administration is struggling to untangle supply chains and tackling soaring inflation, which is by far the biggest problem facing Democrats up and down the ballot in November. It's got to look like you're taking actions. Any economist who says the president shouldn't do anything on the economy should be fired. They could be at a think tank, they could be a professor, but they should be at the White House. There's not a frontline office out there that isn't frustrated with the lack of action coming from the White House on inflation. One aide told a member fighting to hang on to an endangered seat, at the very least, the president should be caught trying to bring prices down just about every day. White House aides say this is exactly what they're doing. But none of these moves have solved the problems. The baby formula shortage persists, inflation remains high, and gas prices, though slightly down from their high, are still hovering close to $5 a gallon. Biden's support of a gas tax holiday was the subject of months of deliberations among officials, many of whom were against it. It probably suggests it was a purely political step to show initiative on gas prices. It only recently put the question in front of Biden directly. It had the appearance of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Sources say that the decisions in the White House are getting bottlenecked as veteran advisors urge Biden to take the long view rather than focus on fast responses. Fewer are trying and even fewer succeeding in pushing back against Biden's infamous inability to settle on decisions. Wait a minute. Biden has an infamous inability to settle on decisions? That might have been good to know before you made him president. On everything from whether to lift tariffs on Chinese imports or cancel student loan debt. Biden has been mulling what to do on student loans for more than a year. White House staff drafted a memo on topic weeks ago, and the decision is now being targeted ahead of when the current repayment pause expires on August 31st. Further aggravating progressives who say Biden's indecision is hurting. If they restart student loan debt on August 31st, I'm voting for John Fetterman. It's going to be a Fetterman ticket. That'll be about it. Further aggravating progressives who say Biden's indecision is hurting people with debt who are trying to make plans and losing much of the political benefit he could get from it. We picked that date for a reason. We'd like to see where the inflation problem is. We'd like to see where our legislative agenda is. There's nothing uncertain or hesitating about it. It's a deadline, and we will deliver on it. They are absolutely the worst. They are the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen. Holy shit. Taking time on major decisions isn't a bad thing, White House aides argue, and neither is taking seriously, for example, the independent agencies like the FDA and U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention are supposed to function without the president's direct interference. This is what liberals will tell you. Everything being broken is not my fault because that's actually good. That the government isn't accountable to democracy or the elected officials is good, actually. The reason, hey, you may say, hey, there's no baby formula, or hey, gas prices are up, or hey, I can't afford healthcare or student loans, but it's good, actually. That's their argument. I'm never voting for this motherfucker again. You can't pay me to vote. All right, I'll give you this. If someone gives me $200,000, I'll vote for Biden. That's my price. I'm not voting for him. There's literally nothing you can do to make me vote for this man. This is what separates him from Donald Trump, and it's an important separation. I'm not an dictator. I'm not an autocrat. I've never heard a stronger argument for autocracy than what I just heard. If autocracy equals problems will get solved, then make me an autocrat. My God. That is the dumbest quote I've ever seen. Jesus Christ. White House officials also lament not getting more help from their colleagues in Congress. You're the president, you fucking loser. If congressional Democrats thought Biden took too long to offer gas tax holiday proposal, you're the White House. You're the executive branch. You're the leader of the party. What? That's all it would take to sell it to Biden? Yeah, just 200 grand. Just to vote for him, not to advocate for him. To advocate for him, millions of dollars. It would literally take millions. Like, I'd have to never be, I'd literally have to never work again before I'd advocate for this guy. That's we're talking millions before I'd sell out for this fucker. Millions. Simone Sanders type money. There you go. That's the type of money we need. The thinking the White House goes, they could have easily come up with another idea of their own and sooner. If that is their thinking, they all need to be fired. The Congress didn't help us. It's not fair. My God. Landrieu ticked off a number of initiatives the White House has gotten behind and hope for congressional action by Democrats, only to have bills languish. The president has called on Congress to pass a reconciliation bill. The president has called on Congress to pass the Competes Act. The president has called on Congress to reduce prescription drugs, to reduce health care, to fill the gap in the challenges with the Affordable Care Act. Continue to basically do everything they can, and Congress has gone, oh, well, we can't do anything. So it's really just the nature of politics. Sometimes you just say, I wish somebody else would help, when we're really, this is all hands on deck. Calling on Congress is meaningless. Is he threatening people's fucking political careers? Is he offering carrots? Is he offering sticks? My God. Scapegoating the president. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's such a loser. Oh my God. He's a complete fucking loser. White House aides checked in daily, and Biden spoke several times with Democratic Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, who led the efforts. The president's early attention to this issue was a big part of setting the table for progress that led to the bill's passage. The gun legislation didn't do anything. It was a weak, gutted, loser bill of no import. Can you tell me one thing that it did? What did it do? What did it do? What did it actually do? It includes $750 million to help states implement and run crisis intervention programs. It closes a years-old loophole in domestic violence law, the boyfriend loophole. The bill encourages states to include juvenile records. Encourages them. Doesn't mandate it, encourages it. Says individuals who sell guns as primary source of income but have previously evaded registering of federally licensed firearm dealers. It increases funding for mental health programs and school security. There's nothing in here that's going to change a goddamn thing. It's basically a do-nothing bill. It doesn't stop the gun show loophole, no. It's a loser bill of nothing. Inside the White House, criticism of proposals from fellow Democrats are often seen as the latest version of essentially presidential fan fiction. For example, in the wake of the Supreme Court's abortion reversal, Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Elizabeth Warren and New York Governor Kathleen Hochul have called for the White House to open up federal lands to abortion clinics. A move that lawyers inside and some outside the government believe would backfire by leaving abortion providers and women open to potential prosecution. Do it! Call their bluff. Make them do it. Harden the contradictions. Show the difference between you. Fight for those women. Send in the fucking National Guard. But he's too much of a pussy. He's going to let the Republicans win. Fundamentally, Biden and his aides are operating from a very different set to the presidency. He's being realistic, they believe, and responsible. This is exactly what you were promised. You got exactly what you were promised. Nothing would fundamentally change. Trump is gonna return to the White House and never fucking leave because of these liberal idiots. Not because his options are truly limited, but specifically because he's trying to restore the structural integrity of the government and of democracy after 4 years of Trump. So in other words, he is actually not using his power, but that's because he's using his lack of action is actually going to make our government stronger. There are termites in the walls. There are termites in the walls, dummy. You can't solve the termite problem by painting over a hole. They also see him as taking a more integrated view. Moving on canceling student loan, for example, could imperil whatever is left of his legislative agenda. They're on vacation. They're not even working on it. This country didn't elect Joe Biden because they wanted a Democratic Donald Trump to go out there every day and divide the country more. Democrats attacking Biden or scapegoating the president are distracted and not focused on what they should be focused on. He saved democracy once by beating a tyrant. He's doing it again, but he doesn't do it by beating his chest. The attacks on Biden are now the same foolishness that got us Donald Trump. Hillary wasn't good enough. She's not fighting hard enough. That's what got us Donald Trump and Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. Case closed. That's who's in the Biden White House right now. Utter loser. Utter loser. I would love if Fetterman wins PA Sally, then turns around and runs for president. Yeah, I mean, I would be in favor of that. Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.